program comes from executive producer Lilian Garcia. Every athlete is on this quest. Every performer dives in head first, battling real-life challenges and overcoming obstacles in an effort to make their dreams reality. Singer, songwriter, 15-year WWE host Lilian Garcia was the first woman to ever announce WrestleMania. And the first to launch her own podcast, which gives you an all-access pass to the human interest stories of elite athletes and extraordinary entertainers. Now, let's embark on another fascinating journey of chasing glory with your host, Lilian Garcia.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Chasing Glory. You know, usually Chasing Glory is coming to you from Hollywood, California. But if you've been keeping up to my social media, you would see that I am somewhere very tropical, very amazing. And it is none other than Hawaii. So let me do this again. Aloha, everybody. Welcome to Chasing Glory. So, you know, a little funny story actually about coming to Hawaii. I had the opportunity to come here with my husband, and we both, because we've been working so hard, really were looking at things and going, I don't know, is it the right time? We got to go to WrestleMania. It's like the week right before Mania. We've got so much to do. And then we both looked at each other and we're like, wait a friggin' second. We're getting an opportunity to come to Hawaii and we're going to say no? Like, what is this all for if we don't take advantage and travel? Like, I am a big advocate on traveling and checking out the world and seeing different customs and just explore. Really, really just see what this whole life is about, right? I want to see so many places. And it's been over 20 years since I have been to Hawaii. So my husband and I have never been together. We actually had planned the trip and 2 actual hurricanes hit. And so it was like a day or 2 before we were supposed to leave. So of course we had to cancel. So here we are. And we decided we're going to enjoy it. I actually felt a little guilty. It's these things that happen, right? They go through our minds. I feel guilty and I felt like, no, I should be working harder. Or is this really a good time? Or can I really leave my mom, even though she's got great care? You know, all these things started to play with me. And then again, I said, what is life and all working hard for if I'm not going to sit here and take the opportunity to travel? So here we are and trying to not work as hard, but still do a little bit, but get out and enjoy life and enjoy Hawaii. So greetings from Hawaii. I hope you all are having an amazing time wherever you are. I hope that you will definitely put some money aside to travel because I think that, like I said, it's very, very important. So Chasing Glory. We have a great show in store for you. I'm going to go ahead and get to the reviews because you guys have been nonstop with these reviews and I love it. I thank you so much. It's helping the show. I really appreciate it. But more than anything, it's helping me. I get to hear directly from you guys how the show's affecting you, and I am being so floored by your reaction. And so this one, again, my team picks this because I told them I can't even pick this. Like, it's just too hard. So they're picking it for me. So this one is from Marmite66. It says, my name is Matthew Armitage. I hope I didn't butch that. Armitage. That's what it looks like. Okay. And I'm from Fort Wayne, Indiana. I drive a delivery truck, and I've been a huge wrestling fan since my very first show, WrestleMania 3, that my dad took me to when I was 8 years old. I have a huge list of wrestling podcasts that I listen to daily, but I had never listened to yours. One day, good old JR put your podcast over on one of his shows. Before I continue the review, I just want to say, JR, thank you. I really appreciate that you did that. And Conrad did the same thing. He put my show over on another podcast, and both of them, thank you. Means so much to get your recommendation on this show. So continuing. He mentioned that you had a great interview with Lacey Evans, who I have been becoming a big fan of lately. I thought I would just download one episode and see what you had to offer. Well, I'm glad I did, and I had to hit the subscribe button within the first 10 minutes. I immediately listened to the Tamina episode, and I was hooked. It was one of the most powerful interviews I've ever heard in a long time. I put some of my other podcasts on hold and have been catching up on yours exclusively. Thank you, and keep up the good work. Wow. Thanks, man. Being a delivery truck driver, I guess it helps with all these podcasts to keep you awake. So, Matthew, I appreciate that. And now you're in the drawing. Remember that. Maybe you don't know that. So if you write a review and it gets chosen, you get put into this drawing. And then at the end of the month, I choose a winner, and it's random from those that won during the week. And you get a free 8x10 and you get a free Chasing Glory t-shirt. Okay. So spread the word. Keep those reviews coming on Apple Podcasts. So thank you. Oh, and something else that I did, I actually reached out on Twitter and I said, hey, you guys have any questions for me? I'm going to start taking questions from you guys on Twitter. And you had some great questions. Let's see. Actually, there was two that really stood out. One was Turtle Power 3BT. Who would you have liked to interview on Chasing Glory, who unfortunately is no longer with us? I personally would have loved to hear you interview Rowdy Piper. I think it would have been great, and he seemed very friendly towards you. Man, let me just say, ditto on that one. I loved Roddy. What a man with such a huge spirit and such a huge smile on his face. And I went to his funeral. It was so sad. And, he actually helped me. He doesn't even know it. He helped me from the grave because, when I went to his funeral, I had heard that he didn't want anybody to know his age. And he was in his 60s. And the first thing that I remember everybody saying when he passed was, wow, how young. But he was scared that people were going to consider him being old. And that whole thing put a perspective to me that changed everything for me. At that moment, I decided I would not lie about my age. I would really be so proud to be my age of 52 years. And I said, if I died tomorrow, they would say, how young? So if I'm young dead, I am more than young alive. So Roddy, I want to thank you because again, that whole thing and your family sharing that story helped me so much in that I celebrate my birthdays. I love birthdays, but now even more because you're not guaranteed your next, right? He would have been a great, great interview. So thank you, Turtle, for that question. And then one more from Twitter. Let's see. Wes Pruitt would like to know, what's your best advice for someone who has to move out of their comfort zone with a wife and child to chase their dreams? I know it's a risk that some people have said sometimes you have to bet on yourself. What about you? Wow, Wes. Yes. Okay. Look, first, when opportunities come, you can't just take every single opportunity. Okay. I don't believe in that. The opportunity has to align with what you want out of life. And if you're not sure, then weigh out the risks. Okay. And when I say that, yeah, it's important to take risks because it's important to get out of your comfort zone. Absolutely. But it's also very important to know what you're getting into. So if it starts aligning with things that you're like, oh, that sounds exciting. That sounds exciting. Oh, this part is part of the job. That sounds exciting. Then I absolutely say take a risk and go for it. Now, if you look at the description, you're like, well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And I don't want to do that. And I don't know about that. Then those are like red flags, right? It's not lining up with what you want out of life. So again, all risk is not good risk, but if it's starting to line up and your family is also ready to support you and your child's not going to suffer a lot from changing, complete schools or something in a really bad time, I think if everything's lining up, then yes, absolutely take the risk. And prayer, man, I just believe in that, but whatever you believe in, I think that I put things out there and go, look, if it's meant to be, make it obvious. If it's not meant to be, make it obvious. And whether you believe in God or the universe or whatever, it will get answered. It will get answered if you ask it that way. If it's meant to be, make it obvious. If it's not meant to be, make it obvious. So that's the way that I definitely attack everything. So good luck to you. I'm actually very glad to hear that you're even considering getting out of your comfort zone. That is the only way to grow. All right, so somebody about growing is Ricochet. Holy moly. All right, so my guest for today, Ricochet. What an athlete. But what a great person. You're going to hear right now in this interview what a beautiful soul, what a journey, what a lesson, several of them, but a huge lesson at the end that I think a lot of you are going to take away a lot from it. So spread the word if you like the interview. Definitely tell 3 people. Make sure you subscribe to the show. Make sure that you keep those reviews coming and the 5-star rating. Thank you so much for that. All right. So without further ado, from Hawaii, well, me from Hawaii, Ricochet is on the other line. Let's go ahead and go for it. Here is Ricochet's journey of chasing glory. The journey to the WWE can be a rocky one, but for Ricochet, he would use the world as his canvas. Born in Paducah, Kentucky, Trevor Mann always wanted to be the center of attention and loved doing flips as a hobby, which made pro wrestling the best option for him. He would make his pro wrestling debut as a young teenager and begin making a name for himself throughout the independent scene. His speed and unique acrobatic style would catch the eye of wrestling fans and would garner the attention of some of the best wrestling promotions all over the world. Ricochet would be a regular for top companies such as Shikara, Dragon Gate, and PWG, where he would mix it up with future WWE superstars such as Cesaro, Johnny Gargano, and Kevin Owens, just to name a few. He would begin competing for the #1 promotion in Japan, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and would enter into the highly coveted Best of the Super Juniors tournament. Although in 2013 he would fall short in the tournament, in 2014 Ricochet would make history by being the youngest person to ever win the tournament and joined WWE Hall of Famer Eddie Guerrero in being the only Americans to do so. He would continue to have matches that captured worldwide attention from wrestling veterans and fans alike. In September of 2014, as Prince Puma, Ricochet would be one of the main characters for Lucha Underground, where he won their top prize twice and teamed with Dragon Azteca Jr. and fellow WWE superstar Rey Mysterio to become Trios champions. After 3 seasons, he became a highly sought-after free agent when an opportunity came knocking. At the beginning of 2018, WWE would announce that they signed Ricochet to a contract where he would become one of the top wrestlers in NXT and would win the NXT North American Championship just months later. He would continue to be in the NXT main event scene for the rest of the year, and in February of 2019, Ricochet was one of the few people to get called over to the main roster and was able to show his impressive talents on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live on a weekly basis, both as a singles act and teaming up with Finn Balor and Aleister Black. He continuously shows the WWE Universe why he's not only unique, but one and only. It's about to get real, raw, and inspiring with Ricochet. And there you have it. You have this incredible bio from Ricochet, which I'm so excited to have you on Chasing Glory, especially since this is your first interview since being called over to the main roster. Ricochet, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Yes, it is going to be a lot of fun. And, I've interviewed a lot of people from the WWE, obviously. And when I told, like Mustafa Ali, when I told him that I was going to interview you, he was like, "Oh, it's going to be great. I love Ricochet."
Oh, I love Ali. He's the man.
Right?
I've known him for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure when he got called over, you were like, excited for him.
Oh, so excited. So excited.
Yeah. But when that happens, do you also go, God, I hope I get called soon?
No, I've never kind of been, everything that I've done, I've kind of done it just the way I had planned it. Not even the way I planned it, but like the stages that I've gone are the stages that I've wanted to go through to get to where I'm at now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You kind of go with the flow?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I kind of like, I wanted to do like the indie thing, and then I wanted to do Japan and do as much as I could in Japan. And then I wanted, like, when I did the Lucha Underground thing, when it came across, like, that seemed exciting. So I really wanted to do that. And then, you know, and then just as time kept going, like, all the things that I want to do, I kind of just did those, got everything out of the way, you know, before I come here. Because I knew, like, here was always, like, the ending point for me. You know what I mean? So, like, I wanted to do everything that I wanted to do before I got here.
Wow.
So, when, like, I saw all my friends, like, getting, like, signed or called up or stuff, I was, like, super excited for them because I know, like, that's good because, like, this is where they get to, you know, make their lives, you know, in any way. So that's nice for me to see them get called up and stuff.
Right. What is it about the WWE that makes it the ending point? Because, I mean, you have wrestled all over the world. You've won so many championships. Why the WWE?
I mean, I guess it's always just been like a dream of mine since I can remember, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then as I got older and I started more than just WWE, like I wanted to explore all those avenues, but still WWE was always my dream. But finding out all these other avenues, I wanted to do them and travel the world and see the world, like just be a part of all the independent scene and like the Japan scene and just really get to experience it and really like get down like the nitty gritty of all of it. You know what I mean? And experience it in the full way that I can. But the WWE has just always been a dream of mine. So like that is, I don't know, I guess it's just an ending because it's like, it's your goal. Like your goal is to get there. Now when you get there, like your goals are like, they change a little bit. Your goals are to like, you know, whether it's to debut on a pay-per-view or whether it's to win a match or whatever it is, your goals change a little bit. And so like when you're here, you got to make smaller goals now to like achieve, I guess, or something, you know?
Yeah, I know it. That makes perfect sense. And I definitely want to talk about how your time there has been so far at NXT and then being called over. But before that, I love to get to know the person. Now, I know you actually were born in Illinois, but you are hailed from Kentucky. Why is that? I lived in Paducah, Kentucky since I was like 3, like, and so now April will be 4 years that I've lived in Orlando. So I just lived in Kentucky my entire life. Got it.
So yeah, that's where that came from. I was born in Illinois, but we moved to Kentucky when I was still like a baby. So that's just been home for me since I can remember. But
you know, you look like you have some kind of ethnic background. You don't look like you're from a guy from Kentucky. I mean, I'm Latina and I swear to God. Yeah, I would say that you were Spanish.
No, my dad was black and my mom was white. So I'm what we call a Half-African.
Half-African. I have never heard of that. Yeah. That's great. Oh my God, that's funny.
So it's actually funny. Like all the time, whether it's just in the city or just wherever, I'm at a store or something, like someone would just like start speaking Spanish to me, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I get like Brazilian, and then I get just like Puerto Rican or just any like Hispanic a lot.
Oh man, if I would have seen you backstage, I would have totally started speaking to you in Spanish for sure.
Yeah, I'd been like,
no hablo español.
I really, really enjoyed the Spanish language, and I mean, I know a little bit, especially from when I was out doing the Lucha Underground thing. You know, we had a lot of like Spanish and just Latino, like, so people down there. So I actually picked some up, and I tried to study a little bit, but I've kind of lost a lot of it since then. Yeah,
because you actually worked with Rey Mysterio in Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
Yeah, you partnered up with him and everything.
Champions.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was wild. Dream come true.
Tell me about that.
I remember talks of him coming in, and I was like, oh man, because it'd be like one of the first times I ever got to meet him. So it was just, you know, like meeting one of your idols growing up was so cool. And then not only that, but like he turned out to be the nicest like
Yeah.
guy in the entire world.
Yeah.
Which made it even better, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They always say, like, don't meet your heroes or whatever. Like, they always say that, but he was a guy that, you know, everybody should meet because he's just such a nice guy, and, like, we need more people like him in
I agree.
the world.
I agree. But that's exactly what you're getting to be now for somebody that's going to turn around and meet you. So just remember
that's exactly, like, between him and I met Jushin Thunder Liger, and even when I, like, met Stone Cold, like, all of those guys were just so nice, and they were just so welcoming in, and so that made me think, like, if those guys who are, like, legends are so nice to everybody, you know, then I can be too.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I know the road can be tough, and I know it can be hard sometimes, and you can get super tired. How's it been for you lately before we continue into your journey?
I mean, lately it's just been so hectic because I've been on, like, all three brands between Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. I've been doing all of them.
Yeah.
Like, last week I did Fastlane, and then we did Raw, and then we did SmackDown, and then we went back down to Orlando. We had NXT tapings, and I did that, and then I had, like, Thursday off, but then Friday and Saturday I flew to, like Evolve's, like, an independent show called Evolve, and I did a signing there Friday and Saturday, like, right to go Sunday to go back to Raw on Monday. Like,
right.
It's been wild.
People think it's really, really glamorous, right? But they don't understand.
It's just a lot of airplanes and hotels.
Yeah, I know. But now's the time to live it up, right? Now's the time. It's like I always say, you'll sleep when you're dead, or whatever comes first.
That's what I'm trying to take it all in, like, one day at a time, and just, like, see where it goes, because it really is just constantly moving. So you just got to constantly be able to adapt and change and just go with it.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So you're raised in Kentucky, so you really don't really remember Illinois. That's kind of the same thing with me when I was raised in Madrid, Spain. So I totally get that. All right. So what was life for you? Like, you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I have one half sister on my dad's side, and then one half brother on my mom's side.
Okay.
And then I have a full brother between my two parents. I have a full brother, and I'm the baby of the group.
Okay.
The oldest is, like, the oldest I want to say now is, like, 42, 43.
Mm-hmm.
My parents are, like, in their, like, 60s and stuff.
Okay.
And then, like, and then between me and my full brother, he's the next youngest, and he's 35, 36 this year. I'll be 31 this year.
Are you guys close?
We weren't growing up, but now that we've gotten older, I feel because we weren't growing up, like, we both realized that, and so, like, we've both gotten a lot closer since getting older. So that's been something that I've really enjoyed.
Oh, that's cool. Why do you think you weren't close growing up?
I don't know. I think because he was, like, off doing his thing, and all I did was just, like, come home, and then I'd go out and ride bikes with my friends, and we were, like, two separate groups. We just never, and he's, like, 5 years older than me, so it's a little bit different, like, age difference.
So you just guys had different interests?
Yeah, and he would, like, they'd be out working on cars and, like, doing stuff, and I would just be, like, playing video games with my friends and, like, riding bikes. So just All
right, and
so I guess we just realized that growing up. So now that we've gotten older, like, we talk a lot more, and then we keep in touch a lot more, and just that's something that I've really enjoyed over the couple of years.
That's really, really cool. You know, it's almost the same thing with even my sister and I. We kind of we were really close growing up, but then we fell out. And then when my dad got really sick, it brought us back together again. And now we appreciate that bond so much.
Yeah, that's real cool.
Yeah. So with your parents, you grew up with them, like, they were together? They're still together?
Yeah, no, they were together, like, my whole entire childhood, and even for a while. I think they got a divorce, like, 5 years ago. Everything's all good now, but yeah, and I think luckily, like, I was old enough to, like, realize and understand, like, sometimes things just happen, you know, whatever. So, but yeah, my whole entire childhood, like, they were always together.
Wow, so that's wild. That's got to be wild, the fact that your parents split later on in life, because most of the time it's so much earlier.
It was a lot to handle, but at the same time, I was so busy. Like, at the time, I didn't get like a chance to sit down and just comprehend, like, everything that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was rough there for a second. But like I said, like we were all adults and we were all like understood that, you know, sometimes things just, you know, aren't meant to be. And luckily, like they're happy now and everything's good. And so once we all realized that, I think that's when things started like getting better.
I like the fact, though, you say they're in their 60s, so basically they split up when they're in their 50s. And the fact that they didn't just say, well, we got to just stay together for the rest of our lives because we got to stay together, and then be miserable for the rest of their lives. Yeah,
it's like I said, they both are happy now, and it's all good. And they got together and threw me when I first got called up to the main roster. Like it was mostly my brother and his girlfriend, but my mom and dad helped, and they threw me like a congratulations party. And they had like my nana and like some cousins and my friends, and I haven't seen them forever, and just a bunch of people got together and threw me a congratulations party, and like everybody was happy, and it was a cool moment for me having everybody all together.
That is awesome, for sure.
Yeah,
so,
it was cool.
Growing up, then, how was school for you?
It was actually not bad. I was always the kid that just kind of got along with everybody. Like I wasn't like part of like the cool kids, but I got along with them, and like I always got along with, like, we had like different groups. We had like people who, like, we called them like the punk rockers, and then we had like the hip hop, the jocks and stuff, and everybody. Like we had like our groups. Yeah. And I somehow was just friends with all the groups. I mean, everyone was like cool with each other, but somehow I had like friends in each one of the groups and everyone kind of liked me and stuff. So yeah, it wasn't bad at all for me.
What would you say was the most challenging thing then for you growing up?
Just the whole school in general. I just didn't like it. I feel like if I would have applied myself more, I could have made like real good grades and like done better. But and if I could go back, I would do it all differently. I just kind of like skimmed through it and kind of just did what I could to pass and just, you know, not fail a grade and just get through it, you know?
Yeah.
I think so. That was the most challenging thing for me, was just actually participating and like caring and doing the work, you know?
Why would you change it?
If I could go back, I would probably, because I would just apply myself more, because I feel like I could have just done more in school. Not like done more as in physically do more like activities or anything, but just as far as like apply myself.
Yeah.
I feel like I could have done a lot better, because again, I just didn't like it, man. So much like most kids, you know, don't enjoy it. So
do you see now the importance of it? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I do now. I see the more importance of like all of it, and because at the time I was just like, let's just do this and get through it. Ugh.
Yeah. Did your parents like have an importance in school?
No, they were, because I played like Pee Wee football growing up, and obviously on the football team, like you have to keep a certain amount of grades to play or they wouldn't let you play.
Yeah.
And so that's like, my parents were like, they knew if I would do it bad, they would have taken me off anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were like good, because they knew I was passing my grades and making, you know, good enough grades to continue and play on the team, and not only just play on the team, but like I wasn't getting like F's or anything. So of course I feel like they probably would have liked me to apply myself more as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they were happy that I was at least getting to have some experiences, and not just have those experiences, but still like do good in school and make friends and have the whole school experience that they wanted me to have.
I've noticed that about you. You're a very likable person. You have a very likable personality. Do you know where you get that from?
Thank you. Probably my dad. He's I'm not really as much like a people person as he is. He just loves people and talking and like getting to know people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's probably where I get that aspect of me, like as far as that goes. Not that I'm not a people person, but like my dad, he loves like just talking to people and getting to know people, and just any chance he gets, he'll, you know what I mean? And so like, I think like, if anyone, like, I do like having conversations with people, and I like getting to know people and stuff. But as far as like as far as he goes, he loves it, man. I wish I was more that way. I wouldn't say like introvert, because I'm not an introvert at all, but like definitely not as much as like an extrovert as he is.
Would you say you're a little shy?
A little bit. I really am.
Yeah, I can see that too. Nothing wrong with it. I actually think it's great, you know, to talk about it and see differences in people and be like, it's okay. I remember when Batista talked about that and how he's actually an introvert, more of an introvert. And he said, if I could go back and talk to my younger self, I would say, hey, it's okay to be this way and just chill out and don't worry about it.
Yeah, same. Yeah, it's so true.
What would you say to your younger self?
Oh man, I don't know. That's a good question. Oh man, I don't know. I guess I'd go back and say, enjoy the ride a little more. Cause like, even just through like cause I started wrestling at a young age. Like I started training at 14 and then
wow,
my first match was the day I turned 15.
Wow.
So
yeah, I want to talk about
go
that.
Back, although like, I guess I enjoyed it cause I thought, oh, this is fun. I'm doing something. But like, I didn't know like at the time, like what I had, I guess, you know what I mean? So, and like also like between like that, like wrestling kept me out of a lot of like bad situations and like that like a lot of my friends at home like got into, or then like it kept me out of like on the streets and like doing stuff that I shouldn't be doing. So that's something I like to, at the time I didn't really understand.
Yeah.
But it definitely did.
So let's talk about how you got into wrestling. What was it, the passion, the love, what was the moment that you were like, I have to do this?
I remember watching The Rock versus Austin at WrestleMania 15. And I've watched wrestling before that, but for some reason that match, I was just like, man, it caught me as just something that I was like, man, I really want to, like, I would like to be a wrestler one day.
Yeah.
Not thinking that I would ever be one, but that's what I really did. That's the kind of the match that like made me want to do that.
Oh my God, how crazy is that? Because you were on Stone Cold's podcast, weren't you?
Yeah.
So how crazy is that?
That was a crazy experience too.
You're sitting there. Did he know that, like, going into the podcast, that match made you want to become
I don't think we knew going in, no, but I think we did talk about that. I think we talked about it. I'm not sure. I don't remember. It was a while back.
God, that's crazy. That must have been insane for you. That's awesome. I love that.
It was really cool. And if you can, like, even if you go back and listen to it, you can tell that I'm a little bit nervous kind of at the beginning of the interview, but then as it goes, like, you can tell I get more relaxed and stuff, like just by like when I'm speaking and my voice.
Well, I'm sure.
But yeah, at the beginning, you could tell I'm a little bit nervous. Dude, it was so nerve-wracking. I'm sitting here Stone Cold. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, here you just said that match is what made your whole future, and then here you are on his show. That had to be great. But he's awesome, like you said. So
he was so cool.
Yeah, he really, really is. That's beautiful. All right, so you're watching that match. You say, "This is it. I want to do this." What do you do next?
Well, nothing like really. That's just like I said. That's the match that just made me want to become one, and I didn't think it was ever possible. Just where I was from, and I was a kid, and I was little, you know. But then, yeah, we were like 14, and my best friend at the time, his dad knew a guy who owned like a local like grocery store, and at the grocery store, there was like a kid who worked there who was like a bag boy. He was like 3 years older than us, so he was like 17, 18, and he wrestled at this local company, like a backyard company called Chaos Pro Wrestling. And so the guy who, like, my friend's dad knew the guy who knew the kid who could get us like tickets into this backyard show. And they had like Cokes, and they had like some sodas and chips and some suckers and stuff for like concessions. Yeah. And they had like school bus seats around the ring, and they had an entranceway that they built in like their carpentry class, and like a guy was like he painted it, and he's like an artist. So they had like a little decent like little setup. It was like a backyard show, and then afterwards they asked us if we wanted to like get in the ring and just jump around a little bit and play around. We're like, yeah. And then so they saw that we were like pretty athletic and doing backflips off the ropes and stuff. And they asked us if we just like wanted to start kind of training, and we did. And we trained for like a couple months. And then on my birthday, it was like October 11th, 2003. It was a Saturday, and that was my first show. And probably it was too early for me to even be wrestling, but they let me do it. And I've been traveling ever since. So there's like Tennessee or Illinois, and just been doing it ever since.
That is insane. I mean, I think when you say, though, going back to your comment, that you would tell your younger self to enjoy it more. Or is that what you said? Enjoy it more or relax more?
Yeah, and enjoy it a little bit more.
What do you mean by that, though, now thinking back to those moments?
I don't know. Like I said, I guess I was enjoying it as much as I could have been at the time, not knowing, but I still felt like I just could have, I don't know, not appreciated it more. Maybe that, because I was just doing it because I thought it was fun, and these guys that I thought were cool were doing it, and I got to travel with them to like these little local shows. But I mean, maybe that's what it's all about. Maybe I enjoyed it enough. Who knows? You know?
Yeah. Right. Right. Well, I'm sure you're appreciating things now, for sure.
Yeah.
So how does it evolve from that to the career that you've had thus far?
Well, thankfully, like the guy that I was riding with, his name was Chuck Taylor. He like did like a bunch of video editing. So he would take his own camera to these local shows that we would go to, and he would film them. And then once, he got back home, he would like make little music videos to them and send them out to promoters and put his email on there. And then they would contact him, and he would set up other locations. And then we would just do that for a long time. And one year, I forgot what year it was, we started doing a bigger local indie. And then some guy saw that who was bigger than them, and we went there. And then we started going to like Philadelphia, and then we started going like all these other different places in like 1 year, and just kind of started branching out. I want to say like late 2006 or 2007 is when we started kind of branching out to like a lot of the bigger local shows,
Yeah.
And things just went from there. Then around 2010, there was a company called Dragon Gate USA. It's the same people who run Evolve now. And he asked me if I wanted to be on the show, and I'm like, yes, of course, because it's kind of like the guys from the company Dragon Gate in Japan.
Yeah.
So I was like, yes, please. Like, if I can hopefully impress these guys and get a shot to go to Japan once or twice, maybe it'd be great. And so we did that. And then I ended up doing like the double moonsault from the top rope. And then they just loved that move so much. They asked me if I wanted to come to Japan. And I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. And I quit I worked at a fiberglass company at the time.
Oh, wow.
It was horrible. It was sweaty. It was itchy. It was sticky. It was hot. It sucked. And so I had told them that I got an offer to go to Japan. So I was trying to get like leave of absence for like a month.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get it to me unless I was like sick or injured or something like that. So like I had to put in my 2 weeks. And I was like, yeah, no problem. And they were like, if you just come back, like just reapply, we'll hire you, no problem. Go and have fun. And so I left, I think it was like December 2010 on my first tour of Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just never came back. I came back every month. And then I spent some time in Japan and then kind of built my name from there.
Where did you learn all those flips?
Oh, that's all self-taught. I just spent time in my front yard or in a trampoline, like out back, and just repetition and trial and error.
Wow. 'Cause man, you can flip. Like, it is crazy. And just seeing your one-on-one with Jinder Mahal and some of the moves that you were doing there, and just, watching your career. I mean, you've already had a 15-year career. Crazy.
Yeah.
So many.
October will be 16.
That's insane. So many people are actually leaving the business when you're just now getting into WWE. How do you feel?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Right? How does your body feel after 15 years already before even getting into the WWE?
There was like time like here the past couple months, like, man, my knees and my hips and my back was just killing me.
Yeah.
And I think it's because of from the time spending up to where I signed to NXT, I never really like warmed up or stretched, or even before matches or workouts or anything. I just kind of jumped right into it. And I think it was just years of that catching up to me.
Yeah.
But now, luckily, like when I was signing to NXT, Sean Hayes and stuff, he had like a really, really good warm up before every workout. And he gave us like warm ups we could do before matches. And then between that, and I recently started doing DDP yoga a lot.
Oh,
and
yes.
I feel like I really feel like that's helped me.
Yep.
My knees and my back and my hips really stretch out. And so I try to warm up before matches, and I try to stretch before matches and even workouts and stuff. And I really think that's helped me get back to not normal yet, but I'm getting there really, really, really quickly, I feel like.
It's wild because even Rey Mysterio was talking about where he's at now, how he's feeling like he should do yoga. And I said, yep, you should even try DDP because he's helped so many people. I mean, just watching the documentary.
It's great.
I mean, have you seen
the Ray the other day, man? And I don't say like Ray's been doing it forever. And I was like, man, you're just as good, if not better than you've ever been. Like, it's been crazy to see how long he's been doing it. And he's still just top notch, dude. What a guy.
He's incredible. So, but he was saying, he goes, I think I need to get into yoga so that I can even, make this. But it's true. Just watching the documentary, I think it was on Netflix with DDP and how he helped Jake the Snake, I was like floored. And then when I got into a car accident, I asked him, I was like, hey, do you have this? Like, can this help me? He's like, absolutely. And it did. It really did. So I'm glad to see that you're doing that, because I tell people all the time, you got to take care of your body or your body's not going to take care of you. That's
exactly right.
So that's cool, though, that you actually were self-taught on those flips. You just one day, like you say, in the trampoline, you just started playing around?
Yeah, I just started playing around and doing it. And like, I would do like one flip, and then I tried to do like one flip and then land and do another one and land and do another one. And then even like in my front yard, I would do like a back handspring, and then I would try to do like a round off and like 2 in a row or something. And then just slowly tried to like keep getting better at it and getting better at it. And I felt like I've done pretty good. And my parents tried to get me into gymnastics. I was always like, and I really regret that. I really, really wish I would have done it now. I was like, no, gymnastics is for girls. Only girls do gymnastics. Just a little kid, like not knowing anything. But like I said, looking back now, man, I really wish I would have done it, because there's just so much that gymnastics can teach you. I feel like just body awareness, or even just like taking care of your body and stretching. And it's just all around such a good sport.
Yeah, I could definitely see the fundamentals would have synced in for sure and would have helped. But trust me, you've done well even without the gymnastics. I mean, to see your infamous 630, that is amazing. I do have to ask, the costume that you wear, the wings, what is that all about and represent? Because I love it.
The idea came from there's a wrestler in Japan called Hiroshi Tanahashi, and he's kind of like the ace of New Japan, is what they call him, the ace of New Japan. He's just, he's been the top guy there for years now, and he's just so good. He's one of the best in the world, even to this day. And he always just came to the ring, and he looked so cool, and his jacket was kind of the same style like that. And I had actually asked him, I messaged him and asked him, I was like, hey, do you mind if I, use that style of jacket? And if I call myself like the ace of NXT, and I guess now the ace of all WWE. And he was like, yeah, sure. No problem. Please. He was like, yeah, he goes, I would like that. And I was like, thank you so much. Like, it means a lot to me to be able to, carry that on. But, so that's kind of where I got the idea from. And then the wings itself, I had a friend draw up. Because I feel like I do a lot of flying, and I like a high flying, and I feel like I'm a good guy.
Yeah.
So,
until you're not.
And
you never know.
Like in Angel's Wings, I feel like it's like a symbolic to my style and who I am.
Yeah, and if you do become a heel, you can always make them black. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, and it looked cool too.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely.
This is Chasing Glory with Lilian Garcia.
We will be right back with the show, but first I want to ask you guys something. Do you suffer from stress? I'm sure all of you raised your hands. Do you suffer from having trouble sleeping? Okay, some of you raised your hands. How about just feeling good all day long? Well, let me tell you something. I am speaking about Cured Nutrition. So Cured Nutrition is an organic hemp-derived CBD product. CBD has now hit the market better than ever, and I'll tell you why. Because it does help your endocannabinoid system, and that is what deals with your stress, with your ability to sleep, with your ability to handle life. There's so much coming at us. Now, what's great about this, there is no psychoactive component. This does not have the THC in it, all right? It's just the CBD. It comes in these delicious spices that you can even add to your food, like blackening seasoning, smoky barbecue, roasted garlic and lemon pepper. Am I making you hungry yet? Well, what about the cinnamon and honey? or the peanut butter chocolate one, or even pumpkin spice. I mean, these are just spices that you put on your food. They also have the chocolate chip. You hear this right here? This is the package. It has the chocolate chip dough cookie in it. Oh, that is absolutely delicious, and it will chill you out. Doing it the way with nibbles or tinctures or treats that your body's natural endocannabinoid system can produce clear benefits. And so they also have the oils that you can put underneath your tongue, or they have their new products, which is Rise, and the other one, of course, is Zen. All right, so the Rise has the, of course, the CBD in it, but it also has cordyceps. It has lion's mane extract. These things are really good, and they actually help you for the Rise. Like, they give you, energy. It also has some B complex in there. Great product. And then they have the Zen to help you sleep, which magnesium is very good for that. It has magnesium. It has reishi in it, which is a mushroom, and that's really good to calm you. And of course, the CBD. So try it out for yourself. For all my Chasing Glory listeners, I always love how they're taking care of you. Hey, and don't forget, you can try this out with your dog too, or your pets, because there's some pets that suffer from seizures, and this helps with that. So, all right. So all my Chasing Glory listeners, here's what you're going to get. If you go to curednutrition.com/glory, you will get 15% off your entire order. That's right. curednutrition.com/glory. But you also have to make sure that you put the promo code GLORY to get that 15% off. All right, so try it for yourself. You're going to thank me. There's so many people already writing in telling me how much this has helped them. curednutrition.com/glory with the promo code GLORY for 15% off. And something else I want to tell you all about that is going to help you so much, because I'm a big advocate on learning. And I think that wherever you are in your lives, whatever stage, you can always learn. And if you're not happy at what you're doing, make a change. So the best way for you to make a change is to learn what it is that you want to do. Okay, so I'm going to tell you about this because Skillshare has over 25,000 classes. And when I say classes, I mean they're like in design, in business, in animation, in film production, in fine art, in graphic design, illustration, music production. How about photography? How about writing? How about business like accounting, finance, freelancing, being part of leadership, management, marketing, productivity. Let's see. How about game design? Ooh, any of you interested in that? How about data science, web development? And there's also lifestyle like culinary and health and wellness and home businesses and languages and teaching. Okay, do you get the drift here? Man, Skillshare has so much to offer. It is countless fuel for your mind, curiosity, creativity, or like I said, making a career change. So if you want to make a career change, or if you just are kind of bored and you just want to learn and do something new, like create a hobby, this is it. Skillshare. Okay, what I love about Skillshare is they're offering something crazy for all my Chasing Glory listeners, for you to try this out. You're going to join millions and millions of students who are already learning every single day. Get this. You're not going to get one, but you're going to get 2 months free. 2 months free of Skillshare. That's right. Absolutely free. All you have to do to sign up for that is go to Skillshare.com/glory. Okay? Sign up with Skillshare.com/glory. You're going to get 2 months for free. Check it out, because I always say knowledge is power. And if you think I'm going to get left out in this train, heck no. I'm already searching on there for my classes. I've got my eyes on quite a few, including iPhone photography. Yes, because I use social media for so much. So I want to get really, really good on how to take professional photos on my iPhone. Like I said, they have a little bit of everything. I'm going to be taking some music classes. So just try it out. Skillshare.com/glory. 2 months free. Now, back to the show.
Hey, it's Stone Cold Steve Austin. You're listening to the one and only Lilian Garcia on Chasing Glory, and that's the bottom line.
So with all of this, the ups and downs, talk to me about the ups and downs. Like, what are some of your high highs and what have been some of your low lows in your career?
I mean, as far as lows, I mean, there's times where you just barely have enough money. Like, I was like, barely had enough money to like support myself or pay bills. I didn't know how I was going to even eat. And sometimes I didn't eat because I just wasn't making any money. And I don't know, luckily I just loved wrestling. So I got to do it every weekend, even though I wasn't making much money. I still got to, do something that I loved. So that was good. But it's been rough. And especially I have now a 10-year-old son, but back then he was growing up and trying to provide for him, and it's like, I don't really have enough money. And I actually had thought for a while, it's like, should I like stop wrestling for a little bit and like try to go back to my job and make money so I can, get him things, or even just, I don't know. So
yeah,
there's definitely some lows that I had to go through.
How did you get through them?
I don't know. I feel like it's just the thought and just of like wrestling every weekend, and like I said, it's something that I just absolutely love to do. I love being out there, and there's no other feeling like it for me, to be out there and to perform for the people. So I think, like, as cheesy and generic as it sounds, but like that's really kind of what got me through. You know what I mean? And I really wanted to show everybody, like the same thing that I'm trying to do today. Like I really wanted to show everybody that if you have a dream and you just really want to do something, like you can do it. Like there's going to be ups and there's going to be downs, but that's kind of what I wanted to do. Is like, man, if I can do this, then Cameron can do whatever he wants, or my brother can do whatever he wants, or just anybody, like a random stranger, maybe heard about me or something, can do what he wants. If I can inspire anybody to go out and live their dreams. So that was something that I always kind of stuck in the back of my head as well. And then like the as far as the highs go, I mean, there's so many, even as far as the first time I ever got to wrestle, a guy named, he was Evan Bourne in the WWE, but Seidel. He was a guy that I looked up to on the independent scene. So like, the first time getting in the ring with him, or just the first time being on a show with AJ Styles was crazy, or just the first time, again, getting to wrestle with Rey Mysterio it's still probably to my day, like our first match we had was still probably I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's definitely one that always just sticks out to me because the importance of that match. And then getting up to NXT and meeting Paul and meeting Sean and all the guys, and even there's been so many like good times for me that I think that's also kind of what keeps me going. Although there are down times, there's just so many more good times that just trump the down times.
Well, now that the money is there, that you're actually eating, that you're providing for your family and all that, would you say that there's some downtime still now, that there's some obstacles or struggles that you're dealing with at all?
Definitely are downtimes as far as like time away, because now it's so much time away. And before it was time away, but now it's the next level. Even now, like I don't even get to see my girlfriend as often as I want to, like, because when I get home on Wednesdays, she's got to go to the PC. Then like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, she's got shows that she's got to go to, if I'm home those days. And then she gets home Sunday, but I got to head out Sunday, you know what I mean? So even then that's hard. And then even just kind of talking to my son on the phone or on Skype until I get to have a couple of days off to go home to see him or something, or bring him down to Florida. Like, so those times, those are the hardest parts now, like trying to get through, and you just miss your friends and you miss your family and you just want to see them and spend time with them.
Yeah, because you're actually dating Casey. Is that correct?
Yes.
You got to tell me about this. She's incredible.
She's the best.
Yeah. And I've just, is it through the NXT that you guys met?
Yeah, we actually came in the same class, started the same day and everything. And she was always just so nice and kind and helpful to everybody in any way she could be. And it's just something that I always admired of her. And, but yeah, then on top of that, she just like as far as the physical part of the wrestling, she just got that down so quick, and she was just so like fun to see in the ring. And I feel like not just me, but everyone's just kind of drawn to her because she just has like this personality that, you just can't ignore.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
You guys have been together for how long now?
Only going on a couple months.
Oh, so it's pretty new.
Yeah, 4.
Okay. Now, I remember actually watching her on American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah. A funny story, when I was telling my brother and his girlfriend that, I was dating Casey and she was thinking about coming by for, I think it was Christmas time. She was going to come down for a couple of days, and he was like getting all like happy. He's like, "What? No way!" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh man!" He's like getting all giddy and stuff. And I was like, "What are you getting all giddy for?" And he's like, "Man, I've never met like someone famous." He goes, I was like, "What do you do? What do you mean, bro? What are you talking about?" But because like my family, even before me and her started talking or knew each other, they watched American Ninja Warrior for years now, so they knew all about her.
Yeah.
So they were really excited.
I haven't met her. Well, I don't know. I don't think I have met her yet. I wasn't sure if I passed her in backstage when I was visiting or anything like that. But I've definitely, seen her on the show, and she is picking it up. Oh yeah. You know what? I think I did meet her at the Royal Rumble. That's right.
Maybe the Rumble, yeah.
Yeah, because she was there.
Time by, yeah.
That's right. No, she's picked it up very, very quick. But I'm sure, like you said,
crazy.
The struggle of now you're, called to the main roster and her schedule, I'm sure that can be a challenge. But you know what? Like, you didn't give up on wrestling because you love that. I'm sure that you'll make this work. If you guys,
that's how I see it.
Yeah,
that's how we both see it.
Well, that's cool. Okay, so something that I want to bring up to you is a gentleman that actually started working for Chasing Glory. He's been contributing with his amazing videos, his edits, his rap. It's Josiah Williams. And when I told him that I was going to be interviewing you, he was so excited and said to me that you are the one that has been so extremely nice to him, so helpful to him in so many ways, and he just wanted you to know that. And that just felt so
great.
Good to hear.
I like that. I like Josiah. He's I remember watching like his first couple. I think it was first one might have been the Undisputed one. Maybe that's the first one that I saw. Mm-hmm. And since then, I was like, man, this dude is so dope. He's so good.
Right.
And he actually came to a Full Sail one day and a taping, and I got to meet him. He's super nice, super cool dude. And yeah, I told him, I was like, man, like hopefully like we can link up sometime soon, because he's so nice and like, again, extremely talented.
Yeah. We're talking also, he's a part of Wrestle and Flow is his brand. And yeah, it's just been so great. Been using that to ignite every Monday as far as letting people know about the Chasing Glory interviews. And so he is doing a video on you and a rap for you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. To definitely bring the show out. So I'm so excited. I've actually seen it already. It is so good. You're going to be so happy.
Is it? I know he did one with me a while back. I don't know if it might be the same. If it's a different one, I'm excited to see it. But
that I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know if it's a different one or the same one. I have no idea.
I have it on my phone, and sometimes when I turn my phone, my car on, my phone just connects and it starts playing my iTunes. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's like, so my song started playing randomly. Like I'm like, oh no. But then every time I hear my song now, I just hear like, yeah, and I hear Josiah's, I hear his voice come on. So I'm like, yeah. So yeah, and she might be a little bit biased, but that's Casey's favorite as well. She likes all of them, but she said that's one is her favorite.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, I can't wait to have Casey on my show in the future for sure.
Oh, she would love it. Yes.
Oh, it'd be
She's
great.
got a wild story. She's the best.
I bet. We'll definitely make that happen. What about Aleister Black? Because you've been working with him for a while now as a tag team, and I had Aleister on Chasing Glory. What an incredible journey. And he talked about how he wasn't sure if people would understand him as a human being. How's it been for you working with him?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've known him for a long time. I think we've met back in, I don't know, because we met in Germany the first time. We actually, the first time we met each other was the same night we had a match against each other for WXW in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I've known him for years now. And, yeah, he's always just been one of like a really good guy to watch in the ring, man. He's so smooth. Like, he can strike you from anywhere. But, yeah, like, to see him and I, both of our paths, like, kind of coming together, it's like a really cool thing because we were friends on the independent scene, and seeing how we both just worked until, we've finally been able to come here together, and then not only here, but like travel together and got to team up and have some really good success so far. So it's real cool to see that.
Yeah. Is WrestleMania in the works here? I'm
hoping so. Like, we'll see. And hopefully we can keep getting this steam going, get this momentum going. Hopefully we can.
Yeah, that would be
impress somebody enough.
I mean, what would that mean to you, being at this WrestleMania, being in it?
Man, that would mean the world to me. Just to go from, so little to living your dream on, like, literally, like what they say, the grandest stage of them all, like WrestleMania would be, that'd be the world to me. Again, it would go to show that, like, you can do anything that you really truly put everything you have into, like, you can do it. So, and hopefully, like, that would just inspire other people to do stuff too, like, because that's the goal. But man, being WrestleMania would be so cool.
It would be cool to see
something that you've watched for years and years. Like I said, WrestleMania 15, Rock Austin's what wanted me to become this, so to be able to be on, it'd be great.
Right. I bring this up again because I just want to dive a little deeper, because there are some people that they love what they do, but they hit rock bottom. They don't know what else to do. And, you're saying that for you just focused on what you loved, but did you talk to yourself? Did you surround yourself with people that believed in you? Like what more that were you able to do to get through those down times?
Yeah, I think I've always had a really good support group as far as, like, family and friends go. They've all, had my back through every up and every down, and they've been there for me. And so, and that's one thing that I really like now, is that I am here and I am being able to, make the amount of money that I make. I help my mom get into her house, and, like, I can help my dad or my brother. I can help them as much as they've helped me through the years, you know what I mean? So that's something that I really, I cherish and I don't take for granted. So, but yeah, like, as far as the support system go, through ups and downs, like, they've been there for me, and I couldn't ask for a better group of people.
Man, and that's what I always say. You have to surround yourself with people that believe in you, people that will lift 100%. You up. Absolutely. And if you have negative, toxic people in your life, you've got to get away from them, even if they're family members.
Yep. And I mean, that's hard sometimes, but if it's toxic, like, and even sometimes you might not even know it at the time. And even if people are telling you, you may not know, but if people are bad for you, you have to get away from them. And hopefully, like, you can figure it out before it's too late,
Yeah.
And luckily, I feel like I've been able to do that, especially just because, like I said, such a good support group.
Yeah. Ricochet, what is your ultimate goal in the WWE?
To really just kind of, I guess there's two. One is to really, like I said before, and this has been the goal even before I got here, but it's still the goal to this day, is to just inspire people to pursue their dreams, and really just, even maybe it's not even their dreams. Maybe if they want to go to school, or if they want to, they don't know if they should apply for this job or something. Like, if I can inspire someone to, take that chance to do something that they didn't think they would be able to succeed in, that's something that I feel like I want to do through the WWE. And I feel like, because they've got a really good platform for that. So that's one thing. And then another thing, like, I really do, like, now that I'm here, it's not something, it's not just being here isn't good enough. Like, I've gotten here, I've worked, and I've gotten here, and it's great, but just being here is not, going to be good enough. Like, I want to cement my legacy of being, like, one of the best to do it. So, like, I'm trying, like, whatever I got to do to get there. Like, I want to be, like, as big as, like, the Shawn Michaels and the Rock and Austin's. Like, I want to be there too. So that's the next goal, is to start making tracks to get to where those guys are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's awesome. And I know you've won a lot of championships thus far. Which one has meant the most to you?
Oh man, that's a good question. That's a real good question. The one that means the most to me. Well, I guess it's not even really a championship, but there was a tournament in Japan called the Best of the Super Junior. Mm-hmm. And so many guys, like from Eddie Guerrero, Crispin Wall, like I said, Jushin Thunder Liger, so many guys that I've, watched and looked up to, like as I grew up through wrestling and stuff, have been through that tournament and won that tournament. And that's something that just really sticks out to me as something, as far as prestige and everything goes, like something that I've really cherished along the way. I never got to carry, they had the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. They had that. That's something that it kind of slipped my grasp before. I got signed. I wasn't able to accomplish that. But, I think that's one that kind of like I can cherish and hold. Yeah, sticks out to me.
That's awesome. As we wrap this up, which I can't believe the time has flown because it's so intriguing with your chase for glory. But has your chase for glory looked the way you thought it was going to look?
I will go ahead and say no, because again, when I started in this business, I just never thought that it was possible for me to be in the position I'm at now. Because again, when I started wrestling, it was the land of the giants, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I just never thought that it would be possible. And then slowly the landscape of this industry started changing, and then, guys that I didn't think would get signed, and just, it started changing, you know what I mean? So now that I'm here, it's insane to me, because again, it's just something that, although I've always wanted to do, I just never thought it was possible. I know a lot of people, they get into business like, I'm going to be in the WWE one day, and I'm going to do it, which is a great attitude to have. I just never had that, because I never thought it was actually possible.
That's crazy. You know why? Because, I get where you're coming from, but so many people are like, well, if you want something, you have to believe in it, right? But you didn't, but you still were like, but I believe that I want to do it this weekend. And then the next weekend. So you took it step by step, as in, I'm not thinking about the future. I'm thinking about, I want to wrestle this next match this weekend.
Yeah, kind of like that's what happened. And like I said, as slowly as the landscape started changing, and I started getting more opportunities here and there, and like bigger opportunities here and there, I was like, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can make a living out of it. Like, even if I'm not going to be in the WWE, maybe I can make a pretty good living out of this. Yeah. And then once the landscape in the WWE started changing, I'm like, oh, wow, it might be possible for me to do that too. You know what I mean? Right. And so I started striving for that. And so, it's just been a wild journey.
But that's a great lesson right there, because some people will focus so much on the future and what it has to look like in the future. Right? The ending.
And what's happening right now.
And if they can't see that ending, if they can't believe that will happen, they don't even begin. But I love the lesson that you're teaching right now. And that is, no, look, if you love it, just begin and worry about this weekend, what you're going to do this weekend, and then everything else will evolve.
Yeah. That's exactly how it happened for me.
I love that.
And even looking back on it, I might have not been thinking like that at that time, but that's definitely subconsciously what was going on.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think it's great, because sometimes we make it so big in our heads and then we don't even get started. Mm-hmm. So I tell people all the time.
Yeah, the idea of it's just so big.
Yeah, start. If you like to sing, then just sing at your church.
Exactly.
Or just sing at your school. Just don't worry about you singing and trying to turn out like Lady Gaga or Katy Perry or something like that. Just
do it because you love to do it.
Exactly. Focus on what you can do in your community, singing there. Yep. And then next thing you know, you never know where things are going to evolve. Never know.
That's so true. So true.
Yeah. I thank you so much for sharing your chase for glory and your story, and tell everybody where to find you, because we're going to definitely continue to follow you. Your career is just starting in the WWE. It's already making an impact. I can't wait to see. You're definitely, in my mind, you're going to make it to WrestleMania. So
thank you.
One way or another, we got to see you on that grand stage. And it's just going to be such a beautiful thing. And thank you for your talents, because I know you put your body out there every single week. And I, appreciate that from all of us fans, that we just enjoy watching you. But where do we find you on social media?
Yeah, on Instagram and Twitter, both are the same. You can find me at King Ricochet. Yeah, on Instagram and Twitter.
right.
I'm pretty active on both, so
Great.
you can go give me a follow and you can follow my journey.
All right. Mira, muchas gracias, de verdad, okay?
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
All right. What I said to you was, thank you so much for joining me.
No, thank you for having me on. It's been great.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Chasing Glory with Lilian Garcia.
Oh, Ricochet, thank you so much. That was such a great lesson. I think we both realized right then when we were talking, we're like, wait, there is a big lesson in this. You know, he just started wrestling because he loved it. He didn't think about the outcome at the end like we were discussing. And I think that's very important to focus if you're, wanting to do something in your life. Like I said, I use singing as an example because, of course, singing, it's easy. If you want to host, if you want to be a teacher, if you, whatever it is that drives you, don't worry about the big picture. I mean, it's okay to have that in your vision. It's okay to go for it. But if you can't even believe that that's possible, then don't worry about it. Then just say, okay, I want to sing at the church, like I was just saying, or I want to go ahead and teach these group of students, whether it's 2 students, I want to teach them something. And I'm saying that because it can apply to anything, any kind of career, anything you want to do in life. If you want to be an actor, go ahead and be in your school play. Start there, but just start. That is the important thing to do. All right. Remember, you can go to Skillshare.com/glory and there is over 25,000 classes that you guys can actually apply for. You're going to get 2 months free. And right there, if you want to learn photography, if you want to learn animation, if you want to learn like gaming design, anything, just start there. That's a good place to start. And don't forget about curednutrition.com/glory and use the promo code glory, and that helps you with any stress that you might have in your life. So those are my sponsors for this show, and just want to thank them so much, so much, so much. All right. So again, I appreciate you guys joining me, and hopefully you will go ahead and pass this along to 3 of your friends. Talk about the show, have them listen to it, and then sit around and talk about the show with them. I think it's really cool to dive into all these stories. And make sure you keep subscribing to the show and keep those reviews coming for the contest. And I will see you at WrestleMania. I'm so excited. I'm going to go have fun and support Tori Wilson, and we'll see what kind of interviews I get out of it as well. They'll be really, really amazing face to face. So until then, have a great week leading into WrestleMania. Much peace, love, and passion. And remember to always be yourself and trust that it's enough. Bye. See ya.
Thanks for joining us here on Chasing Glory from executive producer Lilian Garcia. Don't forget to share this episode with your friends and be sure to subscribe at Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your favorite shows.